Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are moving on to the next topic from the chapter Animal Kingdom. So already we have completed the topic like basis of classification and all the phyla, all the phylums of non-chordates together. Okay, I hope you remember all the topic. Okay, so whenever you are studying the Animal Kingdom chapter, I told you that you have to study the concept by comparing. Okay, you have to study all the phyla by comparing, and as well as you have to use trick for example. So surely we can expect more than 4 questions from the chapter Animal Kingdom for the upcoming NEET examination. So of course the questions, it will be either it will be example based question in the match the column or match the column based questions, or else it will be character plus examples. Okay, so we should have to know all the characters of different phyla and as well as their examples. Okay, so anyhow in the upcoming videos we can discuss more questions related to the same. Now, so we are moving on to the next topic from the chapter Animal Kingdom. So the topic what we are going to discuss is actually phylum chordates. Okay, so we have completed the non-chordates. So there are some basic differences are there between the chordates and non-chordates. So the major difference between the chordates and non-chordates, or we can say that the major characters which we can see only in the chordates, they are actually the first character notochord. So here chordate possesses a notochord. Okay, chordate possesses a notochord. Then the second character dorsal hollow nerve cord. So a notochord is present in the chordate, but it is absent in the non-chordate. Then dorsal hollow nerve cord. Okay, dorsal hollow nerve cord is actually present, and here paired pharyngeal gill slit are also present. Okay, paired pharyngeal gill slit. So this you have to keep in your mind. Now, apart from this character, these three characters, chordate also possesses post-anal tail. Okay, chordate possesses a post-anal tail, and we can say that as an excretory organ, chordates have kidney. So kidney act as an excretory as well as osmoregulatory organ in case of chordates. Then we can say that, see, the heart, it is actually present in the ventral side. The heart, it is present in ventral side. Either it will be 2-chambered, 3-chambered, or 4-chambered, but it is present in the ventral side. But in case of non-chordate, if heart is present, which are present in the dorsal side, it is not in the ventral. Okay, that these are the another differences. Then apart from this, we have already studied about the general characteristics. For example, see, all the chordates are having organ system level of organization, and they are bilaterally symmetrical, and they are actually coelomate. Okay, bilaterally symmetrical, organ system level of organization, coelomate, and triploblastic development. So these are the general characters of chordates. Okay, so now see, chordates are categorized into three types. Okay, three types of chordates are there. We can say that urochordata or tunicata. Okay, urochordata or tunicata, and then cephalochordata. Okay, urochordata or tunicata, cephalochordata, then vertebrata. So vertebrata somewhat detailedly we have to study, so that we can discuss in the upcoming portions. So here urochordata or tunicata, cephalochordata. Now see, this urochordata, tunicata or cephalochordata, we can together call it as protochordata or protochordate. Okay, so they are actually protochordate. Now the important character, see here, you can look at here, they're exclusively marine. So these kind of organisms are present only in the marine form. Okay, so they are exclusively marine. Now, as I have already told you about, chordate possesses notochord. So when we will talk about the characters of notochord, see, you can look at here, urochordata or tunicata. See, notochord, it is present only in the larval tail. See, very important, in case of urochordata or tunicata, Notochord is present only in the larval tail. Now, what about in case of cephalocordate? See, cephalocordate, see the notochord, it is actually extending from head to tail. So here only in the larval tail, but in case of cephalocordata, from head to tail, we can see the notochord. Apart from that, see this notochord, it is persists throughout their life. Here it is present only in the larval stage, but in case of cephalocordate, it is persists throughout their life. So these are the major differences between urochordate and cephalocordata. Now, what are the major similarity? Both of them are actually they are present in the marine. That means they are exclusively marine. Okay. Now the example. See, urochordata tunicata examples are actually Acidia, Salpa, and Doliolum. Okay, Acidia, Salpa, Doliolum. So these are the three examples of urochordata or tunicate. Now, in case of cephalocordata, the example is actually branchiostoma. See, branchiostoma, or we can say that amphioxus or lancelet. Okay, amphioxus or lancelet. So here also examples are very important. You have to keep the examples in your mind. Okay, so actually always questions are asking from this part based on the example. So again, I'm telling you examples are very important that you keep in your mind. Now, so when we will talk about vertebrata, vertebrate actually possesses notochord in the embryonic stage. So when it is in adult, the notochord is actually converted to a bony or cartilaginous vertebral column. Now, actually, all the vertebrates are chordate, but all the chordates are not vertebrate. So, this statement is actually very important. All the vertebrates are chordate, but all the chordates are not vertebrate, because already we have studied urochordata or tunicate and cephalochordates are also there. So, that is why all the chordates are not vertebrate and all the vertebrates are chordate. That you keep in your mind. Now, so let's have a look into the classification of vertebrate. As I have already told you that vertebrate, they possesses a vertebral column. That means in adult vertebrate, they possesses either a bony nor a like a cartilaginous vertebral column. Now, so look at here, vertebrata, it is categorized into Aenata and Gnathostomata. Okay, so vertebrates, it is categorized into Aenata and Gnathostomata. Actually, Aenata means see the group of organism which lack jaw. So the jawless organisms are coming under Aenata. Okay, now it is actually having a class cyclostomata. So the characters of class cyclostomata we can discuss in the upcoming session. Now here gnathostomata, it is actually the second category of vertebrata, gnathostomata. So here I told you that Aenata lack jaw, gnathostomata bear jaw. Okay, so here the jaws are absent, here it is present. Now, in Gnathostomata, it is actually again categorized into pieces. Okay, one of the group is actually pieces, another group is actually the tetrapoda. So it is actually a Gnathostomata is again categorized into pieces and tetrapoda. So pieces, they bear fins, as we all know that they have fins. Okay, fishes having fins. Now tetrapoda, they bear limbs. Okay, this also you have to keep in your mind. Pieces bears fins, tetrapoda bear limbs. Now here in pieces itself, two group are there. One is actually contrichtheus, then ostichtheus. So contrichtheus, ostichtheus. So here the differences between contrichtheus and ostichtheus is also very important, that we can discuss in the upcoming videos. So already the examples that I have already discussed, that means for each example I have given a trick, you can look into the channel. So there are many examples are there in different phyla and classes also. So all those example, for remembering all those example, as I have already told you that we have to use tricks. Okay, now here, so pieces is actually categorized into contrichthyes or stichthyes. Now tetrapoda, it is again categorized into, actually these are the super class. It is actually having class amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. Okay, amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals. So these are the major classification of vertebrates. Now we have to look each and every classification and we have to study the characteristics. So first we can go through the first class of like vertebrata, actually cyclostomata. Class cyclostomata. So class cyclostomata, it is actually a class of Aenatha. Now, when we will talk about the characteristics of class cyclostomata, see these group of organisms are ectoparasites on some fishes. Okay, so cyclostomata, they are ectoparasite. They will be attached on the surface of another fishes. Now, see cyclostomata, they have an elongated body. So cyclostomes, they have an elongated body, and this elongated body, it bear 6 to 15 pairs of gill slit. That is very important. So cyclostomata, it is having 6 to 15 pairs of gill slit. Now, so as I have already told you that, see, they have 6 to 15 pairs of gill slit. So these gill slit, they are used for respiration. Respiration. So 6 to 15 pairs of gill slit are there, which is actually used for respiration. Now, as I have already told you that they are ectoparasites on some fishes. So these kind of organism, they have a circular sucking mouth. Okay, so they have a sucking circular mouth. So with the help of this sucking circular mouth, they will be attached on the body of another fishes. Okay, so now another characteristics. See here, this is very important. See the class cyclostomata, the examples of class cyclostomata, they devoid of scales and paired fins. So here, this group of organisms, actually scales and paired fins are absent. Okay, so they devoid of paired fins and scales. So that is also very important. Now another, see the cartilaginous, actually they have a cartilaginous cranium as well as cartilaginous vertebral column. As I have already told you about one character of vertebrata. Vertebrata possesses actually notochord during the embryonic stage, and in adult stage this notochord is replaced by vertebral column. So that vertebral column will be either cartilaginous or bony. So in case of cyclostomata, they have a cartilaginous cranium and vertebral column. Okay, now see the respiratory system. So the respiratory system, as I have already told you that for respiration they have paired gill slit are there. So that we have already discussed 6 to 15 pairs. Now in case of circulatory system, so when we will talk about the circulatory system, actually here the circulatory system is closed type. So they have a closed type of circulatory system. So closed type of circulatory system means the blood will be passes via, or the body fluid will be passes via blood vessels. Okay, so that is actually closed type of circulatory system. Now the another very important point of cyclostomata is actually, as I have already told you that they are generally marine. Now see, for spawning, this adult cyclostomata migrate into fresh waters for spawning. So after spawning, see the adult cyclostomata, after a few days of spawning, they will die. Okay, after a few days of spawning, the cyclostomata, they will die, and the larvae converted into adult, and after that metamorphosis, see the adult cyclostomes, they will migrate from freshwater to marine. Okay, keep in your mind. So here in case of cyclostomata, their life is starting from the fresh water. That is, you keep in your mind, the life started from fresh water and it will migrate into marine water. Okay, so the entire life they will spend in marine water, and after that for spawning again they will come back to fresh water. After that the adult cyclostome, after spawning it will die. After few days of spawning the cyclostome will die, and then the larvae will be metamorphosis and it will be converted to adult, and which will be migrate into marine. Okay, from freshwater to marine. Okay, so that you keep in your mind, it is very important. Now the examples of cyclostomata, see here two examples are there in cyclostomata. First one is actually petromyzon, or we will call it as actually the lamprey. Okay, petromyzon or lamprey mixed in a hagfish. Okay, this is very important. See, question can be asked in this manner, they can give the example. Okay, again I'm telling you, they can give the example, they can ask the characteristics, or else as I have already told you this. Okay, so the life of cyclostomes, it's starting from fresh water, it's starting from fresh water and end into fresh water itself. Have you got it? It started from fresh water and end in the fresh water itself. So from fresh water, see, the larvae undergo metamorphosis and become adult, and it will be migrate into the marine. So the entire life of that what to say that adult cyclostomes, they will live in the marine, and after that for spawning the adult again they will migrate into fresh water and they will die there. So that also you have to keep in your mind. See, the stage it's starting from fresh water and end in from fresh water itself, that you keep in your mind. Okay, so these are the major characteristics. So here petromyzon lamprey mix in a hagfish, that examples also you have to keep in your mind. Okay, so these are the major characteristics of cyclostomata. Now the remaining characters, remaining classes we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.